Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. It's the Kevin Jackson Show. The Parkland shooting provides a short little respite, a reprieve, if you will, from the bad news of Democrats on Russia. Russia collusion. Think about it. 13 indictments. Get to that more in just a bit. But 13 indictments. And what are these guys talking about? They're talking about the Parkland shooting and guns. And just so you guys are aware, the Democrats have proven, the leftists, the progressives, they will not stop until they get your guns. Trust me, it will never end. The shootings that happen every single day, handguns in Chicago, Detroit, Philadelphia, whatever, all over the country, they don't say a word. One school gets shot, tragically so. 17 people killed, whatever the number ends up being, and they have oh my gosh, the guns, the AR-15. You got, what's his face? Kasich in Ohio talking about what would it do to you if you got rid of an AR-15? Nothing. We'll make an AR-16 or an AR-18. What does the AR-15 have to do with anything? I've given you stats. Less than one rifle gun death per day in America. 300 a year. More people die of accidents in a day. More people die of car crashes in a day. More people die of poisonings. More people die of medical malpractice in a day than get killed by rifles all year. Handguns, which they claim they don't have a problem with. Do you know how many people are shot and killed? That's a Chicago weekend. They don't say anything until it's tragically a long arm, a long gun, a rifle. It's nothing but a rifle. An AR-15 is a rifle. It's not even that big of a deal. There are more powerful rifles in the country than an AR-15. I mean, I don't know where these guys go to school, but that's just a rifle. And I don't know if you've ever really looked at a rifle, but if you shave down the barrel and you cut the stock, it's a pistol. It's a powerful pistol. The only thing that giving it length does is lengthen the range of the shot. That's it. That kid could have easily taken a pistol and done identically the same thing. He wasn't sniping. He wasn't shooting from 300 yards away. He was shooting at point blank range. What do they think's going to happen? I think Rand Paul or somebody said, what difference would it have made if he couldn't have gotten an AR-15? What else would he have been able to do? Do you want him to have bolt action? Is that what it is? It wouldn't have mattered. Holy cow. And now they say, Trump doesn't care. He gave a speech and he didn't care. Yeah, they said his otherwise stoic air, it was unclear whether he was stumbling over the words on his teleprompter or displaying emotion. His shoulders slumped heavily as he walked away from the podium, but that may have reflected the uncomfortable questions about gun control that reporters were shouting at him at the time. Gun control. Let me tell you something. There is no way in HE double cricket socks I give up a gun. I will absolutely destroy you if you try to take them. If you say you got to turn them in, I'm not turning any in. So here's the deal, leftists. Take them. Come take those 800 million guns that exist from law-abiding citizens and try to make some kind of an issue over it. Because let me tell you something. This is not going to be Thailand. This is not going to be Russia. This is not going to be the Soviet Union or places where they take your rifle away and then they destroy everybody who talks against the government. Because you all know who's going first. Kind of sounds a little bit like me and others, Limbaugh and Ingram and Levin and Hannity and others. They want your guns, and they aren't going to do anything until they get it unless you change their culture. Gun control nuts. That's what they are. They are gun control nuts. Anybody that doesn't understand that a gun allows you to protect your person and to protect your property is a gun control nut. Don't tell me what kind of gun to own to protect my person or to protect my property. Law-abiding gun owners we are the reason that America has remained safe since we began as a country. We are the reason, not the military, not the government. and not these unarmed sissies that just, for whatever reason, you don't want to deal with guns. That's your problem. It's unbelievable that we have to, they call it common sense gun control. How about common sense leftist control? Every time we hear about one of these clowns that shoots up something, it's either, oh, they were off their meds or whatever. Democrats shut down the system that would allow somebody to be put away in the insane asylum and looked at and understood and given, whatever drugs they need to take to be good, solid citizens. So now these people walk the streets. And then they claim, oh, well, they can't, those people can't get guns. If you want to get a gun, it's like saying you can't get dope. You're 13 years old and you can't get dope. You can get dope. You can get cigarettes. You can get hookers at 13 if you want them. The left, they give you all these, the things that the indulgences, and then go, oh, you can't have it. They make laws that say, oh, you can't have this or that. The laws are there to be followed. And you know why? Who doesn't follow the laws? Everybody really want me to go into that? Who wants to allow for illegal immigration? Who wants to allow for refugees to come over, however they decide, without any checks or balances? Who is always looking at ways to thwart the law? I think you know the answer. It's lunacy that we engage in these discussions. Every time a leftist tells you gun control, you should yell in their face. If you think you're ever going to get my gun, you tried, you crazy leftist, you gun control freak. Because that's what you are. If you want to control a gun from somebody having the ability to protect themselves, you are a freak, because law-abiding gun owners commit such a minuscule amount of crime, it's ridiculous. If you want to take guns away, you are a rape culture person, because you want women to be raped. You want black people to be subservient. Guns and the NRA are the reason why black people remained free. You racist. See how that works? It's not that tough. Common sense says I'm going to use what's ever at my disposal to protect myself. I'll put it to you this way, folks listening to this program. You are not the baddest people on the planet. If somebody wants to break into your house, force you to do something, force your family to do something, force the dog to do something, there is little you can do. But if you have a gun, you are an equalizer. There are many guys out there that are bad to the bone. I know bunches of them. And every single one of them that I know, and I have been in the ring with them, I've been, hanging out with them, I've traveled with them. The baddest guys on the planet respect your gun. And another thing they respect, your ability to use it. It isn't holding it sideways like the thug. I tell black people all the time to talk about white folks this and we gonna take over and they gonna do this. I'm like, let me tell you something. White people go to the range, they shoot every day, and they can put in a 50 cent grouping, they can shoot lights out. Don't talk to me about who's gonna win in a gunfight. You are gonna get shot, Negro. So shut up. And when all this gun control stuff is off the plate, you know what we're going to be talking about again? We're going to be talking about Russia. We're going to be talking about how the Democrats colluded and how Obama let the Russians get away with what they got away with.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.